Okay, we're not doing this. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Yeah, so this is for fun. I couldn't do that any longer. I was cringing. This is the fun part. Happy April Fool's Day. It was actually started in France. Some say in the 1500s, because they switched over from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, and so not everybody got the word. So some people were still living in April, and they were celebrating April 1st. And then everybody else, the government, was on January 1st in the new calendar. And so they called these guys the April Fools. These people living in April, and they tape paper fish to their backs and weird Frenchman stuff. So to commemorate April Fool's Day in 2019, I want to play a game. And here we have the winner gets dessert. These Skittles, okay? So it's an interactive game. Before everyone got here, I placed a slip of paper under every chair. And on one piece of paper, somebody's a winner. So reach underneath. It's on the left, the opposite side. So if you won, just... Really? What?
Bro, we're all sharing.
What? You won some Skittles. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Please.
Please.
Okay.
Have some Skittles. Pass them around.
All right.
Skittles. I wanted to get that far. As long as I got that far, I believe he won.
You hoodwinked me.
Great. But yeah, people are always going to be pranked by April Fool's Day. Back in 1998 in Alabama, there was a petition and this news report that they were going to round pi down to 3 because of some biblical reason. And this news said that NASA engineers were furious, and that how could you reduce pi, just round it down, to be easier for school kids, and people were furious. They sent in letters, for this prank, and they believed it. So they had to, say this is not a prank. But I think the funnier part is back in 2011, Snopes posted a redo of this in Alabama, saying that the current governor was going to pass this law, and she was getting ready to pass it, and people were just as furious. So people are always going to fall for these pranks. But also in London, something similar happened, because apparently they have much less of a sense of humor. So back in the 90s, this news report came out that they were going to rebrand Big Ben clock as it was going digital. So they were going to get rid of the hands. They're going to get rid of the hands, and it was going to be a digital face. And instead of the bell that tongs, they're going to have electronic buzz. And imagine how annoying that would be. And so they said the first 4 callers into this radio station would win the hands of the clock. So people were furiously calling to try to get the hands of these clocks. I can imagine how big they were. But just hilarious. Also, people were furious that they would be changing Big Ben because the British have no sense of humor. So, also, though, in just a few years ago, 2016, there was a brand that said, we're going to rebrand Big Ben's clock, and we're going to put it was Pim's Soda. We're going to put our logo behind it. So they photoshopped this picture of Pim's Soda on Big Ben's clock. And they started distributing the picture. And they put out this fake news video with a famous reporter in London. And he said, it's Pim's a clock. And they're rebranding Big Ben to have, it was beautiful to have this picture of their logo on it. And people were, again, fooled. I guess people forgot about the first time. So they were furious, and they were calling it. So to end, I just want to say, there's a saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, it's probably in Tennessee, that if you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, can't get fooled again. Thank you.
To be honest, I really was expecting the whole history and all that stuff, and then
It's very interesting.
But to continue on with the flow of things, since we're missing our second speaker, we're gonna jump to our third speaker, and only the evaluator, not the speaker. Third speaker regarding our tragedies around UGA's campus. So let's just call it Preciosa.
Betrayals. We all experience betrayals on a daily basis. They can range from very light-hearted pranks on April Fool's Day, such as 5 minutes earlier when I offered Trish the pack of Skittles, and I was like, "Zoe!" They can also be heartbreaking cheating scandals when you find out that your significant other has been unfaithful to you. They can also be huge national scandals, such as when I found out about the cheating scandal from actresses such as, I forgot her name, but Aunt Becky, when she basically bribed an Ivy League school to let her daughter in, and that was an epic fail. But what makes something an anime betrayal? That's when a betrayal is so heartbreaking, so dramatic, and so over the top that blue squiggly lines start forming around your face, your eyes become blank white, your jaw drops to the floor, and you just have to scream, "Nani?" And we, UGA students, have our own version of these top 10 anime betrayals. But so much stuff happens to us on a regular basis that I couldn't keep up with the standard meme template of just 10. So I have a list of 15 ways that the gods of fate or that our own campus can hoodwink us. For example, do y'all remember back in early February when the Clark County schools closed? The Athens-Clark County government closed, I believe, too, but UGA didn't. Do you also recall the time that you were anxiously waiting for a bus? You saw one coming out of the corner of your eye, but that was just driver's training. And for you football fans, do you remember the agony when Justin Fields transferred schools? That was not a good time. And when the UGA app that was supposed to work, that was supposed to be innovative, says that the next north-south bus is coming in 5 minutes, lo and behold, it's already there. Let us not forget the entire scandal that was the college football playoffs. Okay, in my opinion, we deserve that spot. We deserved to be one of the top 4 schools, but nah. Anyway, let's not talk about the past anymore. And when you sign up for parking, and you get the IM fields, like seriously, that's not even a parking pass. And when you go into Snelling after a long day, and you look at Miss Sandra, and you're waiting for that heartfelt hug, she ignores you. She goes, "Hey, princess," and she goes, "Hey, princess," and hugs the other princess, but not you. So you go back to Snelling, hoping for a second time that if Miss Sandra doesn't give you a hug, Miss Nancy will. No, not Miss Nancy, because it was either this semester or last semester that Miss Nancy had moved to the niche. Shaking my head, guys, shaking my head. So the dining hall doesn't work. Maybe you can try an off-campus location such as Five Guys, the one downtown? You thought, yeah, no, Five Guys was closing. replaced with another Chick-fil-A branch, as if this college town doesn't have 4 Chick-fil-A locations already in like a 100-mile radius. Anyway, forget about food. You decide to lose the freshman 15 and work out. And when you finally get to Ramsey, none of the treadmills are available. And let's not forget Saturdays, when you get that email from UGA Parking. Do you know where to park on game day? Well, it's game day, you don't know where to park, and you get fined. You also get fined too when you try to go to Legion Field to park when tape deck is full. No one's gonna check, right? Wrong. You see that pink slip of paper saying you owe the university $50. So let's say you try to park legally in the tape deck when you don't have a parking pass. And you circle around the block for about a good 15 to 20 minutes. You find no parking, you get out of the tape parking deck, and you still have to pay. I'm telling you, we are being robbed. So after circling around and finally finding a parking spot in the IM fields where you should have parked, you head to the lecture hall, probably 1 minute, on time by 1 minute. Your friend promised you he'd save you a seat. And then you end up sitting on the floor. That's not a friend. That is not a friend. And then after class ends, you try to find the answer. You copy and paste. You find an answer. It's on Chegg and you don't know anyone with a subscription. And you're just left wondering, what on earth is the answer? I only have 15 minutes left to turn in this homework and I just don't know. So many bad experiences has happened. And I wonder if it's just me. So you do your homework. You get a 75 or a 74. And you decide to forget it by joining your friends at Dogs After Dark. And you get in line for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And you see that table with all the union volunteers. And then you look and you realize there are no more shirts left. Not even an extra large. None. Not even an extra large? I was hoodwinked. And that, my friends, are only 15 or so of the top anime betrayals that a UGA student could ever face.
Made it in time. Well, you still have like 30 seconds, but made it in time for your speech. But that was a great speech right there. Didn't know what to expect going in, but by the end of it, loved it. So thanks for that. And now I'm going to give you guys a whole minute instead of just 30 seconds to write feedback for Ryan and for Preciosa. 15 more seconds, guys, and as soon as you write them up, just send down to the middle. Okay, so that was enough time. Let's keep this moving. Don't get this meeting to go overtime like always. But our next speech is going to be the connection between business practices and climate change, and I'll be bringing up Jose with the speech. So,
hey guys, so in here, who is a Terry major, or just loves to learn? Awesome. Who here supports climate change? Supports climate change efforts.
Oh.
Yeah, just get started. Now, who here likes to make money? Yes? All right. One thing we always say about business is that they make a lot of cash. So, what I want to tell you guys is, last year, every 3 months, the USA threw away enough aluminum cans to rebuild the whole U.S. commercial aircraft fleet. That means every 3 months, enough aluminum was thrown away to basically give all you guys a brand new plane. That is a lot of material right there. Now, you guys said that you guys like to make cash. Is that a smart move to throw away all of that aluminum and bury it underground? No, it's not. That actually wastes cash. Now, you guys also said that you guys supported climate change efforts as well. If we were to bury all of that aluminum in our landfills, that means we would have to spend more energy elsewhere to mine brand new aluminum ore. That does not support climate change at all. That actually makes climate change efforts worse. Now, what can we do to solve these issues? We have people who want to make cash, people who want to be smart about all the business moves, and we also want to support climate change efforts overall. So what I want to talk to you guys today is about how business school is dropping the ball on climate change efforts. So it's a fact that climate change is going to affect every business out there, from agriculture to energy industries. Just as an example of that, Starbucks currently they are bracing for a worldwide coffee bean shortage. This means you guys aren't going to be able to have your nice cup of Joe every day. If there's no coffee beans, there is no coffee out there, then you guys will be cranky every morning because of that. Now, this is all because of climate change. Temperatures are going to rise, and then all of the coffee farms are not going to be able to produce as much. So to support climate change efforts, it is not just scientific decision or choice. It is also going to be a largely economical choice. So, brand new business leaders of today are being trained in school on how to run a successful business or be part of a successful business. By show of hands, of those who were a theory major in here, how many of you guys have a core class that teaches sustainability efforts and business in the same course? So that right there is none. Now, of course, we are grateful to be at a great school. There are more schools out there, and here at Georgia, we do have classes where we can take business and sustainability courses all in one. However, most of the time, these classes aren't part of your core. These classes are electives that you can take on the side to fulfill requirements for you to get out of here and go into the workforce. Now, what that breeds is a culture where we are not showing students what good business practices look like that can support climate change efforts as well. And as I said, it is a smart move to support climate change efforts in business, because you get to save cash and you get to save the world at the exact same time. It's not you can just have one and you can do it all. It's you can have both at the same time if you are educated to the point where you know how both of those are going to relate. So, I guess that should be all.
That was a very interesting speech. Do you really, none of you guys have anything even associated with climate change in any of your classes? That's interesting. Because I thought in my management class we had a whole case study with waste management and how some aspects of it were related to, I guess, climate, not necessarily climate change, but how we're affecting our environment. But not every theory major over here is honest over here now, are they? But I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds.